Hey, everybody, welcome to the Real Life Podcast with Elizabeth and Katie. And so we're trying something new today. We're learning Riverside FM, and we've determined that it shows every wrinkle.
Oh
Right?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
not sure I
Yeah.
like this. We've tried soft focus, we've tried backing up, sitting forward, lights, whatever. It's just
It's
you guys.
real
It's
life.
us,
It's
it's real
the
life.
real us.
So yeah, anyway, so we thought we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to test this out and see how it goes, and we may just end this and go over to StreamYard. I have no idea, but we're going to try. Anyway, over there, Miss Holly Hallmark, or whatever what you call yourself. So we're taking a break today from all of our decorating and just life to do a little half-hour show, right? Just to say happy
Yes.
holidays to everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
But Katie's nicknamed herself.
Holly Hallmark. But I also say that I am a Holly Hallmark in recovery because I used to be a perfectionist with my Christmas decorations and my holiday decorations, but no longer. When the Christmas tree fell, I was like, okay, I'm going to stay calm because, yes, it does look crooked now and drives me crazy, but I allow that because, hey, it just is what it is.
So you're having one of those years where it's not all
Oh,
perfect.
God, yes.
We
Oh,
we've had those where you're just like we've gone and it's like, oh, that's the last Christmas tree, is it? Because we're there on December 15th, and we're like, well, you got whatever, who
oh
it's
yeah.
life.
And when we put the lights up, only to find that we had white lights and yellow lights, and they didn't look good together. And then we ran out of lights, so our
Yeah,
daughter's running to the Home Depot at 11 o'clock at night.
yeah.
It's
So
like,
yeah, not the warm white lights, right? You've got the
right.
other the
I want the
bluer ones.
cool white ones. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I need so here's the difference. I need the
Yep,
warm orangey ones. You need the
yep.
cool white ones,
I need the
the
cool white
blue ones.
ones. So
Okay.
you would have been fine because Home Depot had plenty of
Yeah.
those. But we had to like beg for the cool
But
white ones. There was
But
only a
maybe I'm
few.
not in the majority here of that if Home Depot has plenty, so I might need to rethink my life select. I'm not sure right now. we have, okay, so here's our house. We have three trees up. One that stays up downstairs, that's littler, that's fake. It stays up there all year long. We funny decorated. It's got all the kids' ornaments on it from, kindergarten and
Yeah.
first, they're like, "Oh my God, these are awful." And we leave them there. Then we've got a real tree in the front, and then we have another tree that stays still kind of Christmas crazy over here. Another tree in the living room that's fake that hangs out longer than it should as well. But I don't think there's an ounce of space on any of the trees for any more decorations. We're like in YOLO style this year. Like we live once, hang them all up. Pretty funny. So we were trying to call the show "Fa la 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 la," Happy
Yeah.
Holidays. Or
Yeah. Yeah, because when I think of fa la 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 now, I think of fa la 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 Christmas tree going down on the floor.
Did the cat knock it over?
No, it was put up incorrectly. We're the stand. It's too big for the stand that we have. We got a big one this year. We got really zealous, and it's too big for a stand, so we had to get another one. Which this is such a perfect example of life, right? You got to regroup, readdress, sit back, make a new plan, and then do the best you can,
Yeah.
and just live with it. And thankfully, and I have to preface this very thankfully, there were no ornaments on it at the time.
Yeah.
But it taught me that this year I'm going to take photographs of all my ornaments
Oh,
and write down where they're from and who they came from and what the story is so that if anything ever does happen to them, I have them preserved in photos.
it's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I double dare you to go into Starbucks when they ask for your name, say Holly Hallmark. That's your task. I think I'm going to need John John doing the video. What's your name? Holly Hallmark. There it is,
Oh,
folks. Yeah. I was trying to think of names for me, and I'm like, no, just we're going to leave Holly Hallmark the way it is. But yeah, so if you're striving for that Martha Stewart like perfect, we're not your folks. We're just decorating. So I
In
have
recovery. In
yeah,
recovery.
a little bit in recovery. I'm working on it. I'm still a little bit Christmas crazed, so whatever. Anyway, I have a saying, and I looked around this year and I'm like, I use antlers in all of my decorating, from like Beauty and the Beast, Gaston,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
got-
yeah.
so I have some little examples here of all my antlers, and I'm a terrible singer, so I apologize for that. But here's the Snoopy with
Oh, cute.
antlers.
That's so
Yep. And
cute.
so then I thought you'd appreciate this. So I grabbed a few samples of my antler deer thing. I thought you'd love this one. It's a shiny
That's
deer. Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I have deer in a lot of my decorations this
Yeah.
year.
So,
They're peaceful.
but,
Mine's all about peace. My like theme is peace
yeah.
everywhere. I
Well,
have
my theme
peace.
is antlers, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then here's Marcel the moose.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Ah, we have a moose out front too. That's cool.
He's got a little
He's cute.
feet. And then the one that Cam's fiance was trying to take back home with her when they just left right now, and the one that's got cat hair on it because the cat loves it, is this one. Ready?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh,
It's got cat
cute.
hair all over the bottom of it.
Oh.
But she was
Oh,
like, "God,
that's
you could come home with me." We all like that, so we might have a traveling deer this year. Like put him in
sweet.
funny places, and yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
so,
funny.
yeah.
That's
So
funny.
that's my. I like this. I collect these, the
Yeah.
Marcella moose from Lennox.
Oh,
So anyway, they're going to sit right here and hang out with us while we're. Isn't that cute?
that is
I
cute.
opened that one. I'm like, oh no, he's got antlers too. The poor thing. So anyway, yeah,
Yep, we're making it through.
we
We're
are.
getting through the decorating frenzy.
Yeah, and we were talking about things that can go wrong, like trees falling over and stuff like that. We got back from picking out our real tree. We're having like the most perfect day. We're like, oh, there it is, la, the tree, and we put it on top of the van. We're like driving home, and we got home, and the kids are like, it smells really funny out back. It smells like septic. And we're like, oh no. So under our gazebo, the septic flowed up, bubbled up, or whatever. So we're going to have a major septic repair, I predict, in the springtime. We fixed it for now. But, the joy.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's not.
It just brings that shit happens to a new level.
Thank you for
It
that.
really does.
We're on a shit happens
You
theme.
know? Yeah, real life is all about shit happens and what do you do? And, we don't want to make light, though, of some of the hard things that have happened for people.
We're making light of us.
We're just making light of us. But for those of you out there who are grieving or having a really hard time this holiday, we want you to laugh with us, but we also are here if you need to cry and you
Oh, yeah.
need to feel sad. We want you to know that we are available to listen, and I'm a master grief coach. And anyone who is struggling with grief, and I've already gotten a couple of calls from people,
Yeah.
it is a really tough time of year. And we recognize that. We want to own that and recognize and validate that for you, that you are not alone.
Yeah.
My dad died two days before Christmas, and it was really hard, really painful.
Tell that story of the dress one more time. I know
I
you've told it a few
was
times now, but still, yeah.
I was buying a dress for my father's funeral, but it was a few days before Christmas. So of course the person behind the desk thought I was looking for a dress for New Year's Eve. So she was perky and she was happy, and she goes, "Oh, is this for New Year's Eve?" And I was like, "No, it's for my dad's funeral." And I felt really badly because of course her energy just went.
Oh, yeah.
And but at the same time, I was kind of reminding her that not everybody's happy and jolly and needs perky, and to put the perky on a kind of on modulation, read the room kind of, because
Yeah.
not everybody wants that. And I think that's very real for all of us, is that some people are happy and perky and joyful and wonderful, and we all are sometimes, but sometimes we're sad, and sometimes we're
Yeah.
grumpy, and sometimes we're worried, and that all needs to be okay. So our message is be real, be authentic, wherever you are, and if you need help, get it. And I remember feeling very, very much alone after that
Yeah.
moment, that, hey, stop the world, my dad just died. And people who are grieving feel that way, and we just want to acknowledge that there's ways to help yourself through those times.
Yeah, and it doesn't really go away either, because my dad died 6 years ago now, and my parents were like Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I mean, like, so my mom is always miserable at the holidays, trying not to be and stuff, but there's an underlying level of this sucks going on. I know it. So, for her, and her birthday is December 3rd, so it blends and things like that. So, anyway, I sent her sweaters for her birthday. And then I sent in this giant, she's like, she texted him, she goes, I love my Minky. And I'm like, that's from your childhood. That's what you called your blankie. But I sent her this really cool blanket. And she's like, I was going to leave it on the couch, but I took it up to bed with me. And I'm like, there we go. Some comfort, kind of anything to make people a little bit happier and more comfortable. But, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So it's not all perfect out there, and we're trying to give you some light and some humor and things like that to think about. But we're about to step into a situation at Christmas time where our brother-in-law has passed away this year, and he passed away January 10th from metastatic melanoma. His name was Frank Perillo, and so his wife Catherine, who's my husband's sister, and her daughter Alexandra said, can we get the whole family together for Christmas in New Jersey to get us through this, because this is awful and things like that. So I'm like, boy, that is a tall order to herd the cats. Let me see where all the boys are and where we are and things like that. So we're going to be doing that. And it's going to be like road trip. I said, we're coming in hot kind of thing, because we rented a minivan. We're going to drive down, do things, come back. It's going to be a pretty quick trip because we both have to work and the kids have things and jobs starting and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're hoping to, think about that too. Like, if you're happy and somebody isn't around you, read that room. I think you can speak to that. But also, if you're happy, maybe somebody needs to borrow your joy.
It can be, and what's most important about that is, that's a great point, is ask.
Yeah.
Reach out ahead of time to someone who you know has lost someone and ask them, what do they need? Do they need you to tell stories? Do they want to not talk about it? Do they want to be left alone? Do they, and just let them have their space to be whatever they need to be.
Yeah.
And to tell you what they need ahead of time. And then to wing it when they get there, because sometimes they might just need to get up and leave. They might need to go take a walk. They might need to go cry. And that all needs to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be complicated with me coming in too, because they're going to do like a feast of 7 fishes with shellfish and fish, and I have anaphylaxis to fish and shellfish. So they're doing all these food allergy protocols and thinking of me, and I'm bringing my own food and my own this and my own that. So as a layer of, if food allergies, I want to do a show with you on this so bad. Food allergies make me feel like I'm an inconvenience to people. It is the worst feeling in the world. You feel like, oh God, here she comes. She's got drama, kind of thing. And that's the least thing I ever want to be. And the second thing it does for me is it gives you incredible anxiety. Yes. I'm already going with all the things I need to think about. I'm like, don't hug me, kiss me, and it's awkward and strange and all these things. So Peter's had a couple discussions with Laura and Catherine about keeping me alive, because it's anaphylaxis is life or death, kind of thing, and so everybody's on the same page, because here at home the kids and Peter are used to me. They're used to our food allergy protocols and things like that. But for all you people out there with food allergies listening, because I know you listen to Best Ever You in this show and stuff, or you're caregivers of people with food allergies, or parents or whatever, anytime there's a holiday with food involved, it creates, 10 points of anxiety and changes needed and protocols and all these things, maybe even more than 10. I got to think about it a little more. I think I'm going to write an article about that. Like, how do you care for somebody with food allergies when they're in your house? Because what people want to do is they go, here, I made this for you. And you're like, oh my God, you're so sweet, but I'm not eating that. Because in order for me to eat that, I would have had to made it with you, checked all the ingredients. Or they'll say it should be okay, and should be okay is code no. in
Right.
food allergy land. It's like
Right.
it's awkward. Like at every turn, you're just like, oh man, this is so awkward, and I'm so sorry. But
Yeah.
after 30 years, they're fairly used to me.
Hmm.
But we usually don't go anywhere during food holidays.
Yes, yeah, that's a very real issue. I mean, I don't have allergies, but I'm gluten free, and I
Yeah.
get really sick.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful, not as careful as you. But the reality is that there are all kinds of issues that people have
Yeah.
that if we would just get used to asking people, what do they need? Do they need anything special? Do
Yeah.
they want anything special? I know there's a close friend of our family's who just lost her husband, and it's so important to ask those questions. What do you want us to do to help you through this?
Yeah.
Because we don't do that. We have this really weird, bizarre attitude and idea, and maybe it comes from Hallmark movies or I don't know, but
Probably.
that we think that it's just going to be okay because it's holiday, and
Yeah.
no, people who didn't get along before, they're not going to get along just because it's holiday, or old issues that used to show up. They're not going to be better just because it's holiday. We have to be proactive and think things through ahead of time. And I always encourage every one of my clients, talk about your needs before you go and
Yeah.
have an exit plan if things get tough.
Yeah.
And food allergies is one example, but people have all kinds of things. Some people hate the holidays.
Well, so, some people are just bah humbuggy, but other people, like
Yeah.
where there's food involved, sometimes people just don't like something or the smell of
Yes.
something or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like Quade's
Yeah.
worried. He's like, I absolutely hate the smell of shellfish.
Yep.
And he goes, I hope I hope I don't throw up like I did in that one restaurant when we were in San Francisco because he cleared the restaurant.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
walked in, sat down, and he went, bleh. And I'm like, oh no, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Sorry, Quade,
Yeah.
I told that story, but yeah. So but anyway, we're hope my intention is to kind of you want to just kind of glaze over the fact that you have food allergies and go be there and help somebody through the holiday. That's the intention, and unfortunately, I have to worry in the background a little bit about me and getting through it okay with respect to a
Yes.
larger event and
Everybody.
not ruining
Yes.
it for the 15 other people that are there because of me, which annoys me to no end. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no drama. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
Like
Being
no.
prepared is not dramatic. Being
Yeah.
prepared is eliminating drama. And
Yeah.
that's what we don't get.
Yeah.
We think that it's being too dramatic by sending out that kind of email, but no, 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 no.
Yeah.
We are preventing problems.
Yeah. And the worst thing, like the most embarrassing thing that happens is, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
okay? Kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm going to let you know if I'm not. I'm going
Yep.
to walk outside or call 911 if I'm not okay. And
Right.
but you want to do that too with the person who's lost somebody, every minute, are
Absolutely.
you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Or, kind of thing. And so, yeah. Anyway, all
Just
around
check in
great.
and ask.
I like the
Yes.
word grace for, grace
Yes.
and compassion and caring and space and
Yes.
pausing and not just railroading the situation. Okay, the other thing I thought we would have actual some fun talking about, but a little bit of therapy mode here too is, this holiday and this one in particular presents such a monetary stress for people. Present giving, the wrong present, the right present, the pressure of presents. And I'll tell you where we're feeling that this year is kids just out of college, and I'm going to call you kids, sorry kids, but they're 23, 25
Mm.
ages, getting done with master's degrees and stuff like that, and they don't have jobs, and so they're like, we're going to do like service gifts. Like, my gift
Cool.
to you is making cookies with you, mom. My gift to you is this or that, kind of thing. And I just thought
Yep.
that was the sweetest idea. Because otherwise it's like, well, I'm going to put money in your bank account for you to, which I can do that a little bit, but not to the extent
Yep.
of like, hey kids, here's $500 each. Have a heyday,
Right. Right.
No, because there's so much
Right.
responsibilities with loans and rent and just
Hmm.
them getting situated. It's hard. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, and I have one going off to college again, and she is very limited financially.
yeah,
So
it's
those are
very good.
very real ideas. So we got stuff for school.
Yeah.
and a few other surprises, but it's about being together.
Yeah.
And I think too, I really encourage every single person out there, sit down at some point and have a conversation with yourself about your top three priorities for the holidays.
Ooh.
What does it mean to you? And what is most valuable and important for you to preserve? Is it a tradition? Is it family coming together? Is it friends? Is it what is it? But give yourself three that are absolutes and do everything you can to preserve those, and the rest, let them go.
You know, it's a really good point. And the other thing too is putting pressure on people to be there is
Oh,
the thing I
yes. Yeah.
see also. So there's this holiday is an interesting one. Maybe all of them are with the kind of same things going on, but as a mother of four sons who are in their 20s, again, they're 23, 25, 27, and 29. One has a fiance and one has a serious girlfriend. I have vowed never to be that human being, that mom of boys, that goes, you have to be here, kind of thing. It's so off putting. I've seen it. That pressure. And when you're a mom of boys, I think one of the things, I'm going to just sort of say this out loud, but one of the things is they tend to go where their wife goes or their girlfriend goes. I have noticed it growing up with my own siblings and family and things like that. When you have a baby, you cling to your mom and stuff like that. And so you have to be aware of the two sets of families or three if they're divorced. There might be, you might pull, like if you take a couple, you might be pulling them in four different directions if they have got divorces and places to visit and things like that. Just the physical presence of people and pressuring them to be here or there is really tough. Do you want to comment on that a little bit? I just think it's
Well,
I-
it is tough, and it's
yeah,
something you need to have conversation with.
you're aware.
We're in a unique situation. We only have one child,
Yeah.
and we're older. So when you start getting older, you start counting down how many Christmases you have
Yep.
left. And then it becomes different. Then you're like, hey, we really do want you to be here, and you can be there later, or you can be there a different part of the day. We don't mind splitting it, but
Yeah.
the reality is that we're at a very different place in our lives where, yeah, we want her here.
Yeah.
Selfish, perfectly selfish, completely. I'm that mom. My husband's that dad. We are honest about that, but it's because of our age and the fact that she's our only.
So over on my side of I understand it. So what I said this year was, rather than tugging you all and making you miserable in different directions, because we have one in Rochester, New York, one in
Yep.
Massachusetts, Maine,
Yeah. Yep.
Augusta, they're everywhere, kind of thing. So I was so proud of them to all pull together to do the Christmas thing in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and
Yeah.
then we're going to have a celebration that everybody is going to attend here. So, but we're such good friends with Cam's fiance's parents. We're scheduling it with them.
Right.
So,
Right.
I'm like, I want
Yeah.
to take from your holiday. Which one do you need? So she was like,
Yeah.
I really like Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I'm good. I need
Yeah.
Christmas in New Jersey, kind of thing. And so
Yeah.
so
Yep.
I don't know how good a relationships people have with their, with their
Right.
in-laws, parents, but or whatever you
It,
call that.
it's
Yeah,
it's
their
called flexibility.
their
It's called,
daughter-in-law's parents.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right. It's called being flexible and figuring out what you need and what you don't need and what you can let go of.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but in my head I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be great if everybody was here on Christmas morning and all this stuff? And
Yeah.
it's just not totally
That's
realistic
not
this year.
realistic.
Yeah, it's and that what I'm saying is I just think sometimes it creates just tremendous stress
Right.
for people, and it makes and
Right.
then couple that with any kind of money issue or it
Yeah.
layers a little bit. So
Well, and there comes a time when you're older and you are maybe going through health crisis when you're older where you are going to need them there.
yeah,
So think about that.
yeah.
Think
Yeah, the
about that as well.
priority of the time, there might
Right,
become a time when you really actually do
right,
need, need,
right.
want and need are two
Yeah,
different things. So,
yeah. Where we are in our lifestyle and our life process makes a big difference. So just
yeah,
be honest with yourself about what you need or what you want.
yeah,
What you need is something that is non-negotiable. It's part of your wellness. But what you want is something you can negotiate and you can go back and forth and you can mold it and you can change it. But your needs are not. Your needs are wellness
yeah,
related.
yeah.
So be clear on what those are.
So I had one more little topic written down for us before we go. We're going to try and keep this one to 30 minutes. Remember,
Okay.
overscheduling.
Oh God.
Right. I knew you'd be like, oh, hey, pretty
Oh,
nails, by the way. Wait,
you
wait, let's stop for
uh,
a nail break. Let's see them. Look, mine are just terrible right now. Pretty. What'd you paint on
these
them?
are
Oh,
they
Christmas
have
things.
heart and butterfly on them.
Aw, so pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty, pretty,
I
pretty.
go to a place called Nail Therapy here in Anacortes, and I just love them. And I always
I
have
need some nail
thematic
therapy.
nails.
Look at these. Oh man, that's mine are called writing books.
Yeah.
Type, type,
Oh
type,
yeah,
type,
that's
type, type, type.
this one's different.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That just,
what were you saying?
did that insinuate that you type like this?
Oh yes, I do sometimes. When my nails get too long, I gotta shorten them so
That's
that I can
that's
hear
funny.
on my phone.
Okay,
What was it?
overscheduling.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, you mean like 4:30 in the morning when you're making the Christmas, tying up the Christmas tree? You think that, yeah, a little overscheduling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, totally, totally overscheduling, and people do it. And one of the things that I was talking about on a training the other day is that it's so awful that the end of the year is when the holidays fall. So people have business related
Yeah.
responsibilities that they need to get done, and yet they feel this other pressure of, okay, I've got business, but I've also got home, and I've got the Martha Stewart part of me calling, and I've got this,
Yeah.
or I've got the bah humbug, I could care less, I'm going to do it at the last minute on. So everybody's got to really ask themselves, that's again where you prioritize and you say, okay, I haven't done this yet. Like, I haven't sent out my international stuff yet. I'm behind. It's not going to get there on Christmas. And I just called and I said, I am so sorry I blew it. But I just did. And it's okay. Nobody's going to die from that. She's going to get it after Christmas.
Yeah.
So
I had a
let
package come in
go.
from my sister today, and I'm like, yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
behind this year.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
I need
totally.
you to know. See, my favorite thing about holidays is, yeah, I like them to go on until like February. Christmas could go on
Yeah.
until February for
Right.
me. I'd be a
Right.
happy girl. Like everybody,
Yep.
I see some people are like, oh, Christmas is over, chucking the tree, taking it down, out the door it goes.
Not
And I'm like,
me.
oh
Mm-mm.
man, I have taken trees down that are like dead,
Yeah.
dead.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
like
Oh
the
yeah.
thing has no needles on it after we're shaking it to get it down and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's not so much the Christmassy part of the presents and all that. It's just I think it's the lights and it's just peaceful
Yeah.
living.
It's
Yeah,
sacred.
yeah,
I
it's just
I came
lovely.
up with an idea this morning. I was sitting there. I love my morning where I just look at the lights,
Yeah.
and they're not on the Christmas tree yet, but they're everywhere else. And I have fairy lights everywhere, and I've already announced to my neighbors, I'm not taking them down for months, so
Yeah,
just get used to that. They're staying,
June.
and because I just love them, and it's a dark season here because I live in the state of Washington. And I just love that time. And what I said to myself is, this is sacred. This is
Yeah.
a sacred time. What does Christmas represent? And my daughter's boyfriend is Asian and has never celebrated Christmas. And we asked him, what do you think it's about? And he said, well, it's about giving, right? Isn't it about being good and
Aw.
kind and loving? And I said, wow, this guy nailed it. And so I thought about the reverent part of Christmas is for me that the
Yeah.
gift of sacred honoring, compassion, kindness, caring, love. And those are the things, and those have nothing to do with whether your Christmas tree falls over, except the words you speak to each other when it happens.
It happens. Yeah. I was gonna say I've had that happen before, and that was not fun.
Yeah,
The
no,
cat knocked it over. Yeah.
those are not peaceful that's not
Yeah.
peaceful language. But at the same time, it was just
Lose your
it's
shit
the
language. Yeah.
reverence.
No.
Yeah, lose your shit language.
Um,
So it's the reverence. I
yeah.
like the reverence of the holidays. It's
Yeah.
remembering what really matters. And I think that's what all of us need to do.
Yeah.
All the time, really. But at holidays especially, because we overextend, we overspend, we overeat, we overdrink, we over everything. And
Or we
we
under if we're not into it. Yeah, I get it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
It doesn't
But
seem like
but
there's a real happy medium of like I know you have that conversation with yourself like, a couple months before the holidays are you're like, this year I'm really gonna be good. I'm not gonna eat anything, I'm not gonna drink
okay.
anything,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna charge on my credit card, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it just all goes it's like
No,
amazing
I
that
learned a long time ago,
oh,
no, not to set myself up
and
like
then
that.
and then what happens is you start talking like that, and then in comes glides in the Macy's ad, and you're like, oh, I'm screwed. you know,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
or the
So
Black Friday toy, the
yeah.
Amazon book that looks just like the old Sears catalog, and yeah,
Yeah.
all of it just comes
Yeah.
floating in. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
But
this sweater, man,
yeah,
this sweater's Black Friday for mom.
good girl.
I just went. I love it. It's
Yeah,
so comfortable, and I love it. And it was, I do that, but
yeah,
do it what you can do for you that works for you, and it's all relative. Don't compare yourself. It's what works for you to be able to maintain joyfulness as much as is realistic.
I'm thinking of don't compare yourself, and uh, every time I think of that during the holidays, I think of the person who's got like every single light on their house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yep.
I'm like, wouldn't that
Yep.
be like? I say to Peter, I'm like, that would be really fun one year to just go crazy with lights
Hmm.
outside, and then and then I'll say to him the next sentence like, that's a lot of work. Never mind.
It is.
Well, that
It's a
must
lot
take
of work. Yeah.
forever to do. So
Yeah.
like outside, and you know how you were like, I'm telling warning the neighbors the lights are staying up for a while. Well, we have the
Yeah.
good graces of ice and snow, so they stay
Yeah.
up until June when they're finally
Yeah.
thawed back out. So if you put any Christmas light up, you have to remember to like shut the light off, kind of thing. Otherwise, they're frozen out there, and they just
Yeah.
are. And so we have like a neighborhood thing, and everybody just leaves their lights up. And then in June, we're like, hey,
That's great. That's
yeah,
great. Yeah.
it's funny. So
So
anyway,
I think everybody just needs to know for themselves how they need to make this a holiday that has memories that you
yeah.
want to pass on. Because kids are watching, and it's funny. You identified your parents as Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I had the Griswolds. I had the Griswolds.
Oh,
They from
funny.
Chevy Chase from. Oh yeah, that was my family. I
Yeah.
mean, nothing. Trees fell down. There was always arguing. There was, no, we got to do it this way. No, we got to do it that way. No, this needs, and no, we had the Griswold. So a lot of caring, but a lot of funny memories of
Yeah.
things happening, going wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
my grandmother just never got anything right. And,
Oh, oh, we have
the,
some stories like that.
oh, everybody's got those funny
My grandma
stories.
was in
So,
choir,
yeah.
with the church choir, and sang like
Oh,
Ethel Merman. I mean, and
oh
like,
God.
oh yeah. And so I'm one of this is terrible, but I haven't written this in a book yet. In fact, I think I wrote it somewhere, and everyone was like, you can't say that. I'm like, yeah, I can. But I will get the giggles in church if I'm sitting next to my sister.
Yeah.
So like my sister Angie, and hi Angie, and like we've gotten in so much trouble as kids from
Yeah.
laughing because
Yeah.
like so and we take up like 44 church pews with the whole family. You know what I mean? If you put all of us in there, it's like, oh my God, the church is full with all of us because there's so many kids and grandkids and people and everything, friends and whatever. But one year we were sitting in front of my grandmother, who was visiting us in Iowa, so she wasn't in Minnesota in the choir. She was with us in Iowa and no choir. But boy, did she sing like she was in the choir behind us,
Uh-huh.
And we started laughing. My sister and I started laughing so hard. I mean, and she's a good singer, but it was just funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
super, just
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
loud and
yeah.
funny.
The
Yeah, most
opera
people
laugh.
kind of
Oh
open their mouth
yeah.
and don't really
Yeah.
sing most of the time,
Yeah.
but she was singing.
Yeah.
So we got in so much
Yeah.
trouble. And we got escorted by my father, like out of the area because we were laughing so hard. And
Well, and that's me. I sing like that. I was trained in opera. I sing loud. I sing strong, and I don't give a flip what anybody thinks.
yeah, yeah, no, neither did she. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty darn funny though
It
sometimes.
is. So for everyone out there, laugh. Laugh as much as you can. Laugh at
Yeah,
yourself. Laugh at others. If you're grieving and you're having a hard time and you don't feel like laughing, that's okay too. We honor that. We are here for you, whatever you need. Let the holidays be what it needs to be for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
our message.
Yeah, we're closing out. So I'm Elizabeth Hamilton-Guarino. I'm at elizabethguarino.com. This is Dr. Katie Eastman. She is at drkatieeastman.com. Just want to close that out and let you know you can go to our websites, check out our books. Our books make little cute stocking stuffers and things like that. Yeah, our websites are there. And then our website together is besteveryou.com. We have a ton of stuff on besteveryou.com, blogs and things like that. I just want to make sure everybody kind of knows who we are over here on Riverside. And I know this will hopefully syndicate out like our normal one does, but I don't know. And I'd like to say to Riverside, if you could please implement the age 55 and 60 filter.
The filter.
A filter would be good, guys. I need one for
Yeah.
right here. You know, the jowl lift, the whole thing.
Oh, I love it.
It's really clear over here. Wow. Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it must be like definition times 10 over here. Really high quality. Anyway.
Shows every wrinkle.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah. Yep. Anyway. All right. We love you. Happy holidays. All right,
Bye,
Kate. Oh,
everyone.
hey, something clicked on.
Peace.
Maybe the filter came real. See it? I wonder what that is. Oh boy. Anyway, all right, everybody, take care. See it?
Bye
When you
bye.
laugh, it gets lighter. That's so funny. All right, bye. Take care.